A user on GitHub recently asked a question about IfcOpenShell WebAssembly. How do we download a file, an IFC file, that we have generated using Python, in this case PyIodide, and the model file that we've created in previous examples. So here's a good pointer that has been given. If we go to this Stack Overflow article, you'll see that they suggest a function that allows us to download text quite easily. So we give it a file name, we give it text, and basically what it does is it's generating an anchor tag or a link tag, and it's feeding it data as text. It's allowing us to download it. Basically it adds it to the page, to the document. It clicks on it for us, and then it removes that tag from the page, so it's transparent. It doesn't add anything to the page in the end. So let's go see how this works here in Visual Studio Code. At the top of this file, which I've named Create Basic Wall and Download, it's a copy of the Create Basic Wall example. You will notice that I have added the function that we just found on Stack Overflow. We called it download. It's exactly the same. Nothing has been changed. It's always good practice to understand what you're copy pasting, of course. In this case, I feel comfortable with what's there. And now we're going to use that function. So if we just scroll down, my thought process on this was I would like it to trigger when we click on the same button that shows up on the first page, which generates the IFC wall. And here you see we have model.toString, and this model is coming from that script that we run in the background. And so we're going to use that same expression. Now to use that, we have to be within the scope of this same function here, the onClick event function. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom of that after everything's been generated and 3JS has been loaded, etc. And what we're going to do is, just before we close that bracket here, we're going to use the download function, give it a name of test.ifc, and feed it that model.toString as the text input. So let's open this up in Live Server and see what it does. Let's click on Generate Basic Wall. And you saw it there, it did download a file. It called it test-3.ifc in our case because I've previously tested this. So macOS just automatically added a 3 to the end, but it's working. And if we go take a look in an IFC viewer, we can see that it is indeed loading the IFC wall. And that's how you can download an IFC file that you've generated using IfcOpenShell WebAssembly.